All up dual screen entertainment on Retro Robbins. Coming up on today's Retro Robbins show, we're going to have a look at two games that are really impossible to play. Despite my best attempts, I gave it a go. We've got more Commodore versus Spectrum, and we're going to go back and have a look at some more games from out of a particular Crash magazine from 1989. You want to know more? Join me now on the Retro Robbins show for the weekend. Great demo, isn't it, eh? Hello and welcome to the Retro Robbins show with me, Wayne. So what's on today's show? Well, we're going to have a look at a couple of really hard games. So hard I was unable to get off the first level. I understand the concept of the game, but is the game any good? Well, we'll have a look as well. We're going back to Crash this time to issue 61, February back in 1989, where Crash was only £1.25, as well as the usual dose of Commodore versus Spectrum. As always, today's show will be run with real hardware. Today, use of computers will be the Spectrum Plus 2 grey case, which I've got on the fader ready to fade the music up for the AY sound. We've also got the Plus 3 in action for a bit of AY sound, the Toast Rack as well for a bit of extra AY sound. So we're going to be using a total of 3 tunes, maybe even from another one in as well, who knows. And the main games reviewed today, or played, will be played on the Engo clone of the Spectrum Next. Okay, so I was getting a little bit excited earlier this week about the Spectrum Next. There's going to be an announcement. I was only seeing what was said in the comments and thinking, oh, could it be? Could they have actually pulled something out the back? Are we looking at September instead of August? Maybe September, November. Would it be nice to get the Next in time for Christmas? Who knows? Perhaps I'm just being over optimistic. Okay, the first game we're going to look at is a real tough one, and I'm sure you'll agree. I found it quite hard to play, but we'll have a go and see how we get on with it at the... oh yeah, wait a minute. New controller! And this is not Bluetooth, it's pretty good actually, and I've got it plugged in and I look to super glue the dongle for this into the machine because I'm bound to lose that. It's only that big. I'd pull it out and show you, but I'd probably pull the computer on the floor. Yeah, let's have a look at this game I was talking about then. Just setting up the game. I don't think there's a loading screen, however, we'll have a look now. The game's called, well, it's just titled Hard as Nails. That's right, and believe me, it is. Right, we can press 2 for Kempston, and as soon as this starts, I've got to be fast because I will die. If I can't get on with doing it on Kempston, I'm going to define the keys, which is a good thing to see that you've got that option. Make sure it's on. Okay, here we go. Press any key. Now, when I say press any key, that means any key on the keyboard, which gives you hardly any time because you have to press the key and then go back to the control. So we'll try again. It's going to be tough. I'll tell you what, we'll just use the keys. We'll just use the keyboards. I like this bit as well. I meant to show you this earlier. Instead of saying left, right, up, down, you've got that way, this way. It's for people who don't know their left from right. Jump around. Stop, hammer time. Okay, we're going to use keys. Press any key. Here we go. One. No! It is as hard as nails. Oh, fiddlesticks. Your score is... Oh, cheers. Nice one. Try again. Oh. One hairy little pixel later, and I'm dead. What we need to do here, right, is we need to have a look at the screen, don't we? We need to pause it somehow. But it's, you hardly get any time. So let's give it another go. See? Oh, come on. Oh, come on. You touch anything, you're dead. Okay, so we can't even fire, can we? Right, we got stop hammer time. I get you. So if I can press stop, hard as nails. I think we've just got to get across the screen, and I don't know how we're going to do that, because as soon as you jump, you die. Because everything stops you and blocks you. Okay. So yeah, okay, let's try again. I think I've got an idea on how to do this now. Oh. Jump, bounce, stop. Jump, bounce, stop. Jump. No. I have no idea how you meant to get this game going. It's so hard. Very difficult. Too difficult that it's practically unplayable. Now, I've tried doing many different things and I still haven't got any success. And that's just one of these ridiculously hard games. But we're going to have a look at another one coming up right now. Now this one is, that's the name of the game. It's a new game. And you got 20 lives of action. And this is another one really that we need to, I think we'll use Chemston on this case. We can 4-star game. It starts out easy enough. Press number 4 to start. You've got other options. You've got O, P and Z, Q, A and W. But I'm going to use the keyboard. So you've basically got your fire is your thrust. And you've got to control this round this circuit. And when you get round the circuit, you're collecting, well, what looks to be sweets. And if you touch anything on the sides, you'll just bounce off. You can over thrust. As soon as you let go of thrust, you stop. I mean, I'm doing it, this bit, I'm really doing it quite well. Now, those white spiky things there, they're dangerous, so. And then you've got the box at the end, which you're able to move on to the next level. It's also a timed game. Your score goes flying up. This is the really tricky bit, though. Because as a solid form, you won't do that. Oh, nearly did it then. Nearly did it. Ah. 20 lives and they're going down fast. As soon as you bounce off the roof, you're in trouble. Nearly. You just got to time it so as when. Want to get past the first one at least. See how big the bounce is as soon as you touch the roof. You literally change directions instantly. I think the key is to wait till it's doing that spiky thing action. Oh, I'm bouncing all over the place here. No. When it's in solid form, you've got no chance. While it's doing the spike thing, you've got a chance. Oh, nearly, nearly. Now look, the thing is, you've got 3 of these to get past on this level. That was close. Can I just get past one, just once? Oh. You could be here all day trying to... Yeah, this is the thing. Your first screen gives you the control. Your second screen is just way too hard. I mean, if you get past the first one of them, which I have done and I can't do while I'm recording, it was... the second bit is really hard, which is a shame because, you know, I like to see new games being developed. But if they make them too hard that you can't really get any further than the second screen or even the first screen, what's the point? You know, what is the point? Hard as nails? I couldn't really play it. So for that reason, I'm giving it a very poor rating of 2 out of 10. As for this one, you was able to get through the first screen, okay, and I like the idea of it, but because it's way too tough for me to get through, I'm sorry, but that's only going to be a 3 out of 10. So let's have a look at something a little bit easier, and give that a play. Game's going to be one based on the TV show Mandalorian, and it's called, we've got the Spanish version. We've got a really, really horrible loud bleeper sound at the start, but believe me, there's actually no sound in the game. But we're going to select Kempston anyway, so we'll go for that to try this game out. So you've got basic left, right, jump and fire. And the idea is you've got to get to the end of the screen before you move on. I mean, you can't go through there. You've only got a certain amount of bullets, so be mindful of how you use them. And I'm only down to 19 already, but some of these you can just jump over like that, and it's best that you do just jump over them. When we jump up here, we'll open this gate. Be warned though, because that's open that gate. There's a moving platform we need to go on, and it does tend to roll. Oh dear, now you're in trouble. Once you fell off that, look, you're just losing lives like mad. You've got 13 bullets left. Be warned, because this platform will disappear on you. But it's not a problem because we can jump over it easy enough. And I've got... Oh, made it to the next screen. And I'm out of bullets, but fortunately for me, he doesn't come all the way to the end. And believe me, that's a fortunate thing, so I can just quickly run around him. Now I've got to open that gate by pressing that button, well, pulling those, what looks to be a lever and a button. And then we've got to get over him. Fortunately, that wasn't instant death. Ah. Unfortunately, there's nothing I can do but run through it. Right, I need to find a way of getting bullets. So, what's that down there? Maybe I need to collect that Vader head. Yeah, I've got 15 bullets. So with that Vader head, I've now returned to having some ammunition. So that's how you get your ammunition. Now, is that a platform that's going to take you up, or is it a bad guy? Well, there's only one way to find out. That's not it. You're dead. Okay, what do I think about the game? let's turn it down a second while we review it. It's a nice colourful loading screen, to be fair. I do like that. That was pretty well done. The game itself, it's a platform. It's one of them where the consistency of the movement is a little bit too fast, where you can fly across the screen if you're holding left for too long or right for too long. I like a bit more of a control platformer than that. However, it is very playable. Giving it a longer go than that. So yeah, I thought it was okay. I wouldn't write home about it, but I enjoyed it for a bit. It's not one I'd go back to. I couldn't find it that playable, to be honest. Shame, because what it really lacked, and I know it doesn't happen very often these days, is a little bit. Obviously, we got the background supplied by the toast track there. Music. It's a bit of a white tune for it. Just give it a bit of atmosphere in the game. That's not using. I'm sure they could store a bit of extra code there for some AY music, even if it's just not a lot. Something like the sound of the creepy music you got in Amaroot, which was a cracking AY sound game. That gave it a real atmosphere. If it had that sort of, shall we say, music in the background, then maybe I'd have warmed to it a bit more. In the meantime, I'm only going to give that a 5.5 out of 10. These are bad ratings, I know, and it's unlike me to give anything bad ratings, but I've got to be honest and I've got to speak from my heart. Right, this year we're going back to 1989, where Crash was £1.25 from February, and it's issue number 61. Top fact is there was only one Crash Smash that I found when I went through that magazine, and this time I actually used the physical copy. I dug it out, which was a bad idea because the cover was coming off and it is a little bit of a restoration restore. Some of these have been kept in cupboards for years, and yeah, I'm a big Crash fan, as you all know, and I do subscribe to the latest annual. In fact, I don't know which side I put it to myself now. Bear with me a second. I've got my binder, it's slowly getting full. I believe in everything that Chris is doing. I think he's a fabulous guy for doing that, and believe me, when you produce these magazines, it never stops because it's so much hard work behind the scenes for each issue. And no doubt, as soon as before he's even finished the last issue, he's probably thinking of the next issue and what to do with that before he's even released the previous one. So you can imagine there's a lot of work that goes on behind the scenes. So big shout out to Chris for that. And of course he also, he's got, not only is he doing the Crash magazine as an annual sort of, not an annual, sort of a monthly or 2 monthly thing, but he's got other magazines that he's going at, Retro Fusion magazine. So we have to, there's a lot of hard work behind the scenes, and the people, the team of guys that he's got there doing all that, it's great. So if you want, go ahead, Patreon, subscribe to it, get yourself in the mix, get yourself a collection of these magazines. I'm not sure if you can get any of the backdated magazines. Maybe you can, I ain't 100% sure. You need to speak to Chris himself or send him an email or etc. So let's have a look at the first game from out of this Crash issue. First game of the day. Before I even tell you what the game is, I'm going to give you the ratings for those die-hard Crash fans that want to try and guess what game I'm going to give them now. It was by Ocean, there's a big clue. It would have cost you £8.95 or £14.95 for disc, so it wasn't a cheap game by any stretch of the imagination, especially if you wanted the disc format, of course. And the ratings are as follows. Presentation was given 68%, the graphics was given 66%, sound was given 64%, playability 59%, playability 59%, addictive quality is 52%, its overall rating was quite low, 58%. The game is based on the film is called Rambo, and this is not the first one, because there wasn't a Rambo 2, but there was a Rambo 3, and this is the loading screen briefly. Not as good as the first Rambo with the big explosion and he was holding a rocket launcher, of course. That was an absolutely brilliant bit of logo graphics for the loading screen. We do have sound in it, but not in the game at the start of the game. We're going to go for 3 of Kempston. You can define the keys. You don't really should define the keys because I do prefer to use the keyboard, so why not? Oh, we get a pause option. Oh, that's fantastic. Nice the way the game starts with a nice little fade out. Tells you what you've got to do there. And we're there. Put some background music on. You can go for any doors, so remember you're searching, except for that one. That's where you've come in the building. Be careful, they do fire at you. Now the screen changes pretty quickly. And it doesn't matter if you kill a soldier, if you're come back in and out of the room, you will have them return instantly, so they don't stay dead. If you look over the side of the screen, oh, there's a rope there. There's a snake. You can see Rambo's head. As you're slowly dying, it becomes a skull. A nice touch, to be fair. So it's done in a sort of gauntlet style, and I find I do get stuck in certain spots, like just. So you have to find your right way around it. Because that's a dead end, we've got to find another route. Eventually we will come across something we need to collect. See there, I was able to go down, but as soon as they see you, you're in trouble. Best not to get spotted. I won't last too much longer at this rate, will I? Now, is that something I can collect? No. I think I need to go down to some lower caverns somewhere along the line. Oh, I'm getting hammered with bullets. No, you've got a knife, so that's why you're not able to fire too far. You need to find a gun from somewhere, which is easier said than done. The only way to kill them is to get up to them close and personal and then stab them. Now, is there something there for me to collect? No, but I think there might be in the next room. No, still nothing round. Yeah. Okay, so you get the general idea. It's a seeking game, but in a gauntlet style with a slightly larger sprite. Sprites move at a reasonable pace. The screen changes very fast. It's not ridiculously hard. It's quite reasonable, to be honest. But you've got to know, you've got to learn the map, and you've got to play it on a regular basis to know where things are in order to find things. I haven't really done that, but I have given it a good go, and do I want to continue? Well, no, of course I don't. What do I think? Well, it was given a 58% rating, effectively 6 out of 10. I don't think I'll bother entering my name, do you? Yeah, I'm going to agree with Crash there. They got it spot on. It wasn't the greatest of game. Unlike Ocean, when they've got a name for a film and they're going to use it as a brand, they're usually pretty good. What do I really think of it? Well, that sums it up, doesn't it? Right, next game. It's by Dumark. It would have cost you £9.95 or £14.95 on disc by any stretch of the imagination. That is not cheap. Right, let's go for the ratings first of all. Presentation 86%, graphics 86%, sound 84%, playability 88%, addictive qualities were 85%. Its overall rating was very high, 86%. What is the game we're talking about? Well, as soon as you see the loading screen, you'll know. It's called Return of the Jedi. Brief look at the loading screen there. Press the trigger to continue. We can use Kempston, and it's an avoiding game to start with. They're going to try and barge you into the trees, and oh, you move quite quickly, so you could probably end up hitting the tree fairly fast. But key is just little movements, to be honest. Got rid of him straight away. Oh, they do fire at you as well. Now, I will get through the end of this level if it kills me, and it probably will a few times, to be honest. That's him avoided successfully. Watch for the a little bit further, but I still got a bullet in the back. This is not going anywhere near as fast. Yes, avoid the those. I'm trying to think what they're called. I do know, but your mind plays you. Oh, I rammed him into the tree and got myself with it. Okay, what's I'm firing nothing. Now that's good if they've got people following you, but if you haven't got anyone following you, oh. How many lives have I got left? Well, we're nearly at the end of the first level anyway, so we're doing okay. Side-scrolling game. Well, slightly 45-degree scrolling game. Oh, come on, he was dead before he got me. Give it another go. Let's try one more time. I know to get rid of the first speeder when you go past him. He's done for, see? I'm getting better at it straight away. How did I avoid that? I have no idea. Right, if there's anybody following me, they're going to get these... Oh! I'll call it a joystick issue. That's my excuse and I'm sticking with it. Oh, I was in target, wasn't I? Rapidly using up my lives, but we will get past. I've got 3 left, haven't I? I can see the lives in the bottom. The score is going up rapidly. There we go. Yeah, I did that first time, didn't I? But this time I had a real issue with it. Yeah. There you go. Take that. I nearly got to shoot somebody. And we made it to the end, and that's the end of the first level. And now it's much the same again, only this time we'll be taking part as the Millennium Falcon. And this is just about avoiding these gaps. And avoiding those things. But unfortunately, you're too busy concentrating on getting through these gaps that you can't think about them as well. You can... Quite sharp steering actually, crash into them. Not bad. Oh, I think I need to blow a few holes there, don't I? Back to square one then. Back to the first level. This time, slightly different. We're on the speeder. Oh. So, graphically, it's very nice. That does look like a speeder, you know, with a limited range of colours, of course, on the spectrum. Fortunately, it didn't have AY sound in the background. Had AY sound at the start. It was nearly a Crash smash, and yeah, but I didn't think it was as good as Crash made out. I think they was being a bit kind. Nice large sprites, and the sprites moved quite well, to be honest. They move shuffle across the screen quite fast. Personally, that to me is only a 7 out of 10. But this is only a matter of opinion. You may have a different one, so please leave a comment and tell me what you thought of Return of the Jedi for the Spectrum back in 1989. This one is Hellfire Attack. I'm going to tell you the game really, why not? £8.99 or £14.99 for disc by Martech. And Kevin Wage was the author. The presentation was given 74%, the graphics was given 68%, sound 82%, so we've got good sound in this one. Playability 70%, ooh, it could be good sound, who knows. We'll have a look in a moment. Executive quality is 65%, so its overall rating was actually started out well. We had a 74 and an 82 and a 70, and then it ended up with an overall rating of 66%. Bit of a shame that. Load ever, want a 8K version, so I have to go and use the TZX file, which I can do. Have a look at the demo. Yeah, it's got a nice colourful border on the outside, hasn't it? And you can see where your scores and that's going to be. I like the sound of the guitar. That is AY replicating a guitar sound in the background. That's quite well done. It sounds like a guitar for a distorted amplifier, which I kind of like the sound of that. Okay, let's go to number 3 for Kempston. Get ready for takeoff. Oh yeah, if you carry on turning left too far, you turn the whole screen out. I'm not actually playing it, am I? I played the demo. Press 1. Okay. Let's play the game. Press A to stop the tune. Well, we definitely use that, don't we? And now let's give the game a go. Stand by. Right, two-tone background. Oh yeah, up is down and down is up. I hate that when you do that. Try to get rid of it. Ah. Well, I've got some score flying up there, haven't I? That's a good thing. It's a little bit of a blocky movement on the background. You know, got to be careful because if you can turn upside down quite well. That's where it gets confusing, when it turns upside down. And I've just crashed into the ground. I've seen enough. Yeah, he got 66%, and it's obvious reason why he got 60%. 66% is because despite the look of it and the graphics and everything, it wasn't that nice to play. Bit of a blocky scrolling background. It's a bit confusing on what's going on, and when the screen flips around the other way, because you know, if you hold down left for too long, it'll go upside down, just like I suppose it would be on a chopper. It can confuse you there. Helicopter has landed. Well, if it has, it's landed upside down. For that reason, I'm only going to give that a 6 out of 10. GI Hero was a Firebird game, and I'd show you the loading, but I hate the way the Firebird games load, which was a beep, bleep, 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 loads of, it's bleep loader, in other words, and it takes 3 times as long as it does to load that game. That might be an exaggeration, as it would do just to load a normal hyperload game. I should show you, shouldn't I? I should show you the loading, because the loading screen isn't that bad. Yeah, I think I will. I'll show you the loading. So we'll start by going to there. We'll turn the noise down because you're not going to want to hear it. I can promise you that. We will go. We'll increase the... Oh, we're up to 28 anyway, so we want to get down to 14. Return. We'll go for that. We'll go for the... Well, we're going to wait at the sort. Communicating with the Pi. Obviously, we've got the Pi 0. We've got the accelerated end go, because you can put the Raspberry Pi in that as well. But you've seen that before, haven't you? Firebird 1988, yet reviewed in 1989 in the Crash magazine that we're talking about. And why did they do this? I have no idea. In the meantime, while we get to, you know that bleep time loading system, don't you? Huh? The horriblest way I've ever known anybody invent a game to load. The good thing is though, if any one particular section fails, you can rewind it a touch and try and load it again, because that's the bonus of a bleep loader. But you'd rather, you could end up with the smallest click on your tape back rewind, you'd probably go back about 5 sections and then you'll have to wait through those 5 sections before you actually get the game loaded. No, I'm not a fan of bleep loader and never will be. Right, as always, if you like the show today or you want to leave a comment for me to reply back to you, please feel free to do so. Give me a like, do like people to give me a like, just to show that you enjoyed the video. I will be making more content. If you haven't already, please subscribe. A big thank you to all my new subscribers and to 1 or 2 people who sort of make this happen behind the scenes, such as Matthew and Ricky from You Maker Robots, of course. He's a supporter of my channel, and I really appreciate the input that they have. Because we're not going to be too serious here. This is a fun look at the days when we were young and we used to enjoy games where we had a bit of silliness about us. Because most documentaries, they do too serious, aren't they? Which is great, but if you want serious, but sometimes you just want a bit of light entertainment and a laugh at me being absolutely dreadful at some of these games. So there's the loading sequence. We're not going to endure all of that. We're going to jump straight into the game, but the screen itself is not too bad, is it? I like it. Firebird screen. It's only got 2 colours, but graphically well done. Game loaded. We get to choose between keyboard, Kempston or these, so we'll go for Kempston, and all you have to do is press fire on that, which is space in this case. And you're this guy here. So as soon as you start the game, you're wandering around quite a big jungle actually. You can duck, stand, that's a crouching position to fire, and an up position to fire. Quite a big sprite, big graphics, big bold graphics actually, but not bad. And there we go, bad guy shoot him before he shoots you. Now where there's a gap in the trees, you can go up and down it, I believe. You need to, that's it, and once you're up there you can see other things that might need collecting. I think that's a magazine on the floor. I was a bit slow in reacting then. And you know, for somebody who's carrying a rifle like that, which is not realistic, but yeah, we've come to the dead end there, so we've got to find our way round. You've got a little health bar and a time, so you've got a time period that's clocking up. You've got a certain amount of health, and every time you get hit, your health goes down a little bit. But yeah, so good thing is I ducked and I was able to shoot them quite quickly. I like the look of the game. It does look good, and for something that's using such a big sprite, that's it. You need to be facing up, don't you, to go up. Ah. It's a sort of seek and destroy. Yeah. So G.I. Joe was given a presentation of 72%, graphics 74%, sound was 33%, and that's because the only sound you get is this one. That is it, really. Playability 59, addictive quality 54, overall 56%. Yeah, that just seems like, you know, such a mean rating for something that they really tried to give you that feel of a jungle sort of, out of almost Predator, isn't it? Look, yeah, it's oh yeah, and as you can see, your magazines are going down quite quickly. What do I think of the game? Well, you need to press up or down to fire. You can't just press fire, you know, to shoot as well. That's a notable thing. 6 out of 10. That was about all I could say about it, really. I'm about to die anyways. I'm going to let him blast me to death. See the energy bar going down? And that is it. And your score sheet, of course. Change now to the +3, which I've got newly fixed in the background for the supply of the 128K sound, of course. The name of the game that I've taken the tune off is one of my favourites. Not everybody's cup of tea, Death Wish 3. But that's not the game we're reviewing. The game we are reviewing is called, I'll tell you in a minute. See if you can guess from the ratings I'll give you, Crash Magazine Die Hard people. Presentation 77%, graphics 67%, sound 70%, playability 72%, addictive quality 69%, overall rating was 70%. All for Tiger Tricks. The producer was Capcom/Go, and this game would have cost you £8.99 or £12.99 on disc. I believe it has 128k sound in it, so we'll just put my paper to one side. Oh, I'm looking like a newsreader there. Yeah. I write things down so that I can just reel them off, hopefully. Hence the reason why you see me looking down a lot. But, you know, it's all part of the show. Well, we're going to have a look at the loading screen if there is one. There is one actually, and that was it. Reset tape counter. Okay. Well, we've done that, haven't we? So we have to load it in sections. We'll go for B for controls. What we're going to do? A, change controls. Player 1 keyboard. Kempston. Okay, we got Kempston. And B to exit. And we press A for one. Oh, C start going, isn't it? It's the 128k version. You can see it's a monitor game, quite large sprites. You can avoid those blessed holes. Blessed, I said. That shoots at me, does it? Okay. Well, I'm doing really badly as usual on these shoot 'em ups, but there we go. We've seen these, but there's a power up there and I've missed it, which is not good. That thing's going to fire at me, isn't it? So tough game, isn't it, Last Duel? You do have a little bit of invincibility. I could have put the pokes in, but this time I just wanted to play just to show you how difficult it was. Couldn't get enough blows in before I was dead. Changes graphically slightly, changes background colour slightly, but the game is there for you to see. It's exactly what it says on the tin. What do I think of the game? Well, it was given a 70% overall rating. 7 out of 10. Standard shoot 'em up, I'm afraid. So yeah, I'm only going to give that a 6.5 out of 10. I'm giving it a little bit less than Crash would have done. Because I've seen loads of games like that and they're all pretty much the same old, same old. Let's go on to the next game. Right, game I've reviewed before. We'll give it the authors of the game was Tony Porter, Gary Priest, John Harrison and Kevin Blomer. And it was by Gremlin Graphics. It would have cost you £7.99. The disc would have cost you £12.99. The playability was given 58%. I could have said presentation, but I thought I'd mix it up a bit. Presentation 64, graphics 64, both the same. Sound 52, not sure about that and you'll see why in a moment. Addictive quality is 55%, its overall rating was 56%, that's a poor rating. The game in question is called Techno Cop. Loading the 128k version. There is a little bit of sound at the start. That's what you can call it. Sort of blinker mixed with AY, but it doesn't come out too well when you're trying to run it through a sound system. It's a little bit better than that when it gets into the actual AY sound. Nice logo. Just letting a bit of the AY tune play for you. Not bad, is it? It's a shame because that's all you get. And then we have to load each section of the game, and that's the last you hear of that AY tune. Right, the keys are 1Z. These are quite well spaced out. Or you can use Camston. In this case, I'm going to use Camston. The Roll of Honours list. Multi-load game where you load each section. First part, you're on this road, you're driving along, you've got to get to a certain destination before you can get to the second part of the game. Stay on the road, shoot any bad guys in the way, try not to shoot the good guys. It reminds me a little bit of that recent game that was from ZoomNet. You know, the black and white driving scene. So there's a little bit of the code in that from there. It's not bad, it's easy enough to stay on the road, but the idea is not about the racing. It's not a racing game, it's an action game. When you actually get into the main game, shoot to kill. Oh, and try not to crash into rocks along the way, which I managed to do quite nicely. Thank you very much. Ah, not doing too great. We've got a time that's running down there. And we need to get to our next destination before that time runs down, so you need to stay on the road as much as possible. Arrival imminent. It will pull you across, and then you'll move into the next section of the game. Which, if you jump, you can jump quite fast. Oh, I didn't want to drop down there, but never mind. Nevertheless. You've got a rescue there. If you carry on through the game, you'll probably find all sorts of little gems like loot and whatever. But we need to basically get back on that. Oh, I like the lift. Have a look at this for the lift. That's the way you get back upstairs. Oh, we don't want to do that. We want to get down. And see if we can find anything else. I find by jumping you can move a lot quicker across the screen, and the scrolling's not bad, is it really? It's nice and fast moving, and a little bit like Joe Blade this bit reminds me. You know Joe Blade, where you go between the doors, and it does remind me of that a little bit. And well, now we've collected whatever it is we need to collect through here, we might as well return to the road and proceed with the game, which will give it a review, of course. Oh, that is an eye, isn't it? Oh, he's got a whip. Look, it's Indiana Jones. Sorry, Indy. Sorry about that. Is that too loud in the background? No. Ah, we've done it. And then we'll return to the driving bit where you have to drive to the next section of the game, which I'm not going to do. So what do I think of the game? Well, I thought it was a low rating. It did have a lack of sound, and that is, sound got 52%. You've only got the sound effects, and it's a shame because you do be like a theme music in the background to give it a little bit of atmosphere. Instead of me using the theme music from Death Wish 3, of course, which is a great A-boy tune. I love that. It's an excellent tune. What do I think of it? Well, I actually enjoyed playing the game once I got into the game, and for that reason, I gave it a very respectable, a lot more than Crash, 7.5 out of 10. One for you to try. Perhaps this is one of the games you've seen before, or you've never seen it before, and you'd like to give it a go. So it's available as always on download. It's a free game, and the software has been released. Of course, gremlin graphics. Well, you know, if you wait long enough, you won't have to pay £7.99. Let's move on to another game before we move on to Commodore vs Spectrum, because this video is going to get way too long again, and I want to keep it within a certain time scale. Unisoft was the producer of the next game, which was authored by John Medhurst, Roger Taylor and Nigel Kenwood. And the presentation was given 76, graphics 79, sound 55, playability 85, addictive quality is 86%, overall rating was 85%, so this game had quite a high rating, 5% short of being a crash smash. What is it actually like? Well, let's have a look now. Let's change the AY sound to the grey +2. Give this a go. We'll have a look at the loading screen if there is one. Oh, there is one. No, there isn't one. Okay, the game is, of course, Skate-O-Bowl. Right, we'll go for the Kempston, shall we? So we need to look at where the keys or joystick. So player 1, you get to select his joystick, and I'll go for 3, and then we'll go M for main menu. Give it a go. I haven't fared too well with it so far. Maybe I should stick to using the keys. We'll start game. Level 1. Skate-O-Bowl. There's my goal that I've got to defend. There's his goal. And he just bars me out of the way, and before you know it, come on, get. Get the ball, get the ball. Oh no, what am I doing? I'm trying to get the ball. Oh, he scored. Oh, that's great. So the best thing to do is just to jump straight at him. Oh, you can jump fly kick him, can you? I've lost me, man. Oh. Oh dear. You've got to be fast. That's mine. My ball. Get away. That's it. Run for it, Forrest. I had sight of the goal. I had sight of the goal. Oh, no. I'm getting hammered. Oh, come on. That guy's well hard. He's well hard. You win. I give up. I can't even get the ball off you. Yeah, well, I didn't do any better in the practice runs of that game either. And Ash wins 5-0. Well, what a surprise. And round 2 you get to change a different player. And now there's obstacles in the way as well. So it's almost like a pinball game. And the same result will happen. So I'm not going to go there. That was getting a bit repetitive, wasn't it? Right, what do I think of the game? Well, it was given an 85% rating. I found it nice graphically. Scrolling's quite fast. It's very... Exxon reminds me of that. Remember the Exxon game where you got like an elastic and it sort of shoots and it sort of got that sound effect to it. Not quite as good as that one, but yeah, I can see how this could... be fun as a two-player game when you're playing against each other. As a single player, and if you're not very good, it's not a very nice game. For that reason, I'm only going to give that a 6 out of 10, which is way off the 85% that Crash gave it. Spectrum's been on a bit of a run lately, but the next one could change things entirely. Commodore was on a run before that. There have been close calls with the Commodore versus Spectrum. Today's game of choice you're about to see, and I asked the question. Some of us on my own group, Retro Robbins, will probably know what's coming up. So, will it be a Commodore victory, or will indeed Spectrum prevail yet again? To see the battle between Commodore versus Spectrum coming up right now. Game of choice is Zynaps. Great shoot 'em up on the Spectrum, and created on the 20th of the 6th, 1987 for the Commodore. So a little bit earlier. For the Commodore version was the first version before the Spectrum was the one that came up. Oops, we've messed the screen up, but don't worry. Nice opening presentation, big scrolling, rotating thing there for Zynaps. And this game, however, I find really hard to play. But we'll give it a go anyways. There's no SID sound in the game. You just got the sound effects. Oh, and that's why I find it hard to play, because of the heat-seeking, well, you've got some seeking missiles. We'll try again, shall we? A bit of short to go over. Maybe I should go for the top one first. Great explosion, but it's massive, isn't it? Well, this one's better. See, he's just homing in on me, and I cannot avoid him. give it another go. Very hard game to play on the Commodore, of course. Well, I almost did better there, didn't I? Hey, we got past somewhere. Oh, these bullets are horrible as well. Oh, they home in on you and you've got to try and avoid them. And they're really, really difficult. And of course you start right back at the beginning. Nothing gets simple for me, does it? So, can't even shoot them, look. Don't know what I'm supposed to do there. Keep going or turn the retreat. Trying to avoid the bullets. I'm not doing too good here, am I? Yeah, that's an appropriate name. Let's have a look at the Spectrum version then. We'll have a look at the loading screen on the Spectrum version, because there is one. Oh, also really loud bleeper sound, of course. Well, it hasn't got the big Zynaps and there isn't the colour bars going across the top, but it is what you can see there. Music by Steve Turner, graphics by, well, you know, read it for yourself. Houston did this version, and I think we need to find out first of all what the keys are. And I remember player 1 in combat, okay. So there's that heat-seeking missile on that one, and I forgot what the keys are. Forgot what the keys are. Hold on, let's find out what the keys are. And I remember you have to hold the button, the fire button, don't you, on this one to you've got no chance until you get a peril. Oh, you know, I'm sure I was pretty good at this back in the day. But then it's been a while since I played it, but what a game this was. For both systems, it's really well done. Isn't there something glorious about the Spectrum version though? I mean, don't get me wrong, the Commodore one looks great with the explosion. The explosion is nowhere near as good as this. They could have done some background music for it. I was trying to avoid him, you know what, the invincibility poke. Wouldn't go amiss on this. Just go, hey, let's have a look, shall we? Try again. I remember now to select Kempston joystick, I just have to hold the fire button and it will automatically do it with this game. Keys, get them before they get you. If you miss them at the start, you miss them entirely. I'll get a bit further this time round. Missed my power up that time. Oh, I was about to avoid them helmets to go up the screen, but oh. I ain't giving up. I'm going to have another go. I'm going to get a little bit further. It kills me. Pattern recognition. I'm getting better each time. So we get down here, get rid of that thing. There we go. Got my dual cannons. Now we got some firepower. That's better. I don't know we're going to give up. I remember how to play it now. It took me about 10 goes. Oh, there's one of them homing ball things. There we go. Finally getting into the game. I want to get to the ship at the end so that I can destroy it. Or at least we started halfway down the section. However, I've lost all my big weapons, so I've got to get my weapon back. Oh dear. Come on, they got to go together, haven't they? Oh, at last I got to the ship at the end and died. Okay, which version do I prefer? Do I prefer the Commodore version or do I prefer the Spectrum version? The explosion ain't too bad, is it, on the Spectrum? However, I would say the Commodore version's explosion is better. Commodore had the SID chip and they missed a trick there. Perhaps they didn't have enough code to put some sound in it. Remaining space, shall we say, for the code. Who knows? But they did have a starting theme. I would have sacrificed that for a bit of music in the game to give it a little bit of atmosphere, just like the arcades would have had. I've made my decision. And this is controversial, but here comes my decision. Just showing you what I'm capable of when I put my mind to it. I'm capable of dying even quicker. Okay, the reason why I just like the Spectrum version, it's got a charm all of its own. It's great graphically, it's very pleasing. There's a lot more space to and it's also easier. There's a lot more space to fly around in, and it's also easier to play than the Commodore. So you're able to get in the game better. The Commodore one graphically is very nice. The sharpness of the Spectrum's graphics gives it an edge and gives it a playability. The sound for the Commodore, the opening sequence was giving it a winner to start with, but then that was basic. It's not about the start really, is it? That's just something that adds the icing on top of the cake. It's the actual gameplay itself, and for me, Zynaps for the Spectrum was the better version. So do you agree? If you don't agree, let me know why. Tell me, leave a comment. If you do agree, tell me why you agree. In the meantime, I've been Wayne, this is the Retro Robin Show. I hope you all enjoyed it this week. Sorry it's so late on release, but you know, time is of the essence. There will be another show hopefully in a couple of weeks time. Next week I might be having a week off, so space, I've got things I've got to get done, and you know, life gets in the way. If I can get an episode recorded, and as long as I don't have an episode, I will bring an episode for you. Do hope you've all enjoyed today's show. I hope you enjoyed the content, and if you want to suggest a Commodore versus Spectrum game that I haven't done, please feel free to do so. I've done particularly quite a number of them already. At one time I was doing 5 at a time, then 3 at a time, so I've virtually covered nearly all of them, I would think, that came out on the Spectrum as well as the Commodore version. Who knows? I've been Wayne. Thanks for watching. Have a nice working weekend and weekend. If you haven't done so already, please subscribe. In the meantime, take care and bye for now.